나무 묘호랭개교 나무 묘호랭개교 나무 묘호랭개교 The tree analogy. Hey, that rhymed. Hi, folks. How you doing today? I hope this finds you in good health, secure. Real basic question today, but a profound one. Thought I'd take a little break from the constant Nichiren Gosho investigation to talk about why the heck are we doing this? Why Buddhism? Why Nichiren Buddhism? Why chant? What's up with enlightenment or awakening? Why do we call it that? What's this all about? Well, put simply, we want to stop being surprised by our misunderstandings, our ignorance about our own lives. And so the tree analogy works for me. See if it doesn't work for you. We talk about lineages and lifetimes and genealogies. We use the tree analogy a lot in different ways in life, right? The tree of life. So I want to create a mental picture for you that was useful for me. Of the way we experience life. And as we come into this samsaric world of consciousnesses, 3,000 realms, and every single thought moment, think of starting from just midair, just you're in the air, and you're plummeting, you're falling, and suddenly an event happens. Some event happens to jar you into paying attention to what's going on. Like teething. It's a big change in the status quo, and I'm cutting teeth and it's upsetting, and it sends you all sorts of different ways. Decisions, realms, happening moment to moment. You're just sort of going through them. So that's just the order of the day. You don't really think about it. And you progress through your life, and other events happen. Wham, wham, wham. And every time they happen, you're just trying to grapple with what's this? What's this now? And decisions are being made, and you're forming the color scope of your falling, right? Remember, I talk about energy and momentum all the time. So that's what I'm tying this analogy into. You're moving. And every now and again, something interrupts that movement, and so you pay attention, and then you don't, and you continue moving until the next event. And those events may be happening 3,000 times every single thought moment, but for the mental picture I'm creating here, just see them as distinct as a car accident, first time I fall in love, marriage, puberty. These are events. Bam, bam. And what I'm equating to the tree is that these are branches. And like all branches, even the definition of the word branch implies a multitudinous branching. From a single branch come many other branches, and in turn branches off of those branches. And that's kind of how we experience life. Boom, this happens to me, and I'm making billions of decisions moment to moment throughout the next day, week, month, year, so on, based on that branch. Some branches are very large and have many branches. Some branches are very small, and we just go, oh, that happened. But we keep plummeting. We keep falling down this tree, hitting random branches of different size, making different observations, basing our bracing for maybe there's another branch coming. I can feel it. But our whole life is based on reaction and waiting for the next event. Now what? What could happen next? Oh, nothing's happening for a while, so isn't this nice? No perturbance. Think the realm of nin, humanity. No change, stasis, right? Oh, that's so nice. You're still plummeting, but you don't perceive the plummeting because that's life. I'm telling you, my friends, that's how most sentient beings live life. Just barely awaiting, barely conscious that a moment is arriving. What could it be? What does it mean? How will I respond? No, we're not that conscious. We're just waiting. What's next? Wham! Okay, now I have to do this. I'm doing this now, and I'm doing this, and I hate that, and I love that, and until, okay, everything's the same. I know what to do. Here's my routine. Wham! You hit another branch. Now what do I do? Oh, gosh, I got to get the car fixed. I can't believe I got a flat, blah, 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 blah. This is how people live life. It sounds really tragic, doesn't it, when you look at it that way? But this is how people run their lives. And the Buddhist says, well, that lack of preparedness, that lack of knowledge building about what are these events, what's a proper response, what's an improper, it's too late, I've already responded, oh well, next branch. This is the nature of stress and anxiety, because all you're doing all the time, even if you're not totally conscious of it, your body, mind is bracing for impact. When am I going to hit the next branch? You might even hope to hit another branch, because then I'll know what to do. This is a stressful experience of life. So, what's Buddhism? What is this thing, Buddha? So, look at it this way. What if, with a simple activity, we could awaken our consciousnesses to a more profound conscious that takes our life experience, right, plummeting through this tree, and moves us away from the tree so we could see the tree. Not just fall through it, but actually see it. See the branches coming. See the branches broken. Understanding the process. Oh, silly me. Wow, I can be prepared for that branch. I know that's coming. So if I do these things, then I won't just be reacting. I'll be conscious. I'll understand. I'll prepare. I will see the whole picture. I will understand that I'm plummeting, and I don't need to be plummeting. I can be observing the process of plummeting, and therefore not reacting to every single branch, but getting a much more holistic understanding and experience of this process. And then immediately I'll become conscious of many other trees and many other processes of life going on, and all these plummeting minds. Wow. A whole forest of process, an entire universe of process. Oh, that's so immense. And now I'm completely removed from that day-to-day crack, boom, worry. Because I'm removed from it, I'm observing it. What I well up is a tremendous appreciation for this whole massive momentum of the universe, of life. And also deep compassion for the others that are just going, ow, ooh, down those trees. The cacophony of suffering is like, come here. Get away from that. Do you see the analogy I'm making? Buddhahood, opening the mind's Buddha perception, is a deep, deep paradigm shift that provides for us a way of understanding, of appreciation, of just a completely different experience of life. One that can make out of every branch a springboard. What if you didn't break through those branches? What if those branches allowed you to float? What if those branches, were you prepared to properly encounter them, lead to tremendous insights to plummet without hitting the branches, avoiding them altogether? Wow, what a different experience. The one ultimate branch, you could say, would be enlightenment. So I like analogies. I grew up with them. A lot of the writings that I've read on different subjects, whether it was chemistry or philosophy, the writers that could provide me with a visual sense of what they were explaining always worked profoundly for me, profoundly well, offered me insights. Yes? So we don't all learn that way, and we don't all appreciate them the same way, but yeah, when you're, let's see, I wrote some notes here. Oh, yeah. So just to repeat in a different way what I was saying, instead of constantly having anxiety about when and what and how I'm going to hit the next branch, what's going to happen to me, you have, as an observer of the process, the ability to make choices. That is not a branch I want to hit, so I'm going to avoid it. Because you can see it coming. And you can consider your options. Options to the point that you can choose other trees, or even the tree that you're falling through, to perceive its fruits and what it may have to offer, And rather than smashing into it, you can simply reach out and grab an apple and feed yourself as you're observing the process. It's an important paradigm shift from constantly plummeting and being anxious about the next branch you may or may not hit, and then responding to whatever that event is, to seeing the events unfold, choosing to, rather than break through a branch with a trauma to get the lesson, you're already figuring it out before you get to it. So you can sidestep the trauma of the event and use your knowledge gained from your perception of the various events of life to avoid the traumas of hitting the branches while still growing your knowledge of experience, and just as importantly, understanding that every other thing is doing the very same thing. So you can have insight into other people's events, futures, past, because it's all about how we're falling now. Are you going to live this life in trauma, reacting to trauma after trauma? Or are you going to have a perception that broadens your time perception, giving you a preparedness, an understanding, a usefulness, an appreciation of the process? Learn without impact, influence others to do the same. That's it. It's that simple. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Avoid some branches today. It may sound silly, but it's a visual that, at least for me, points out the paradigm shift that happens in your momentum, in your consciousnesses, in your experience of this great, huge experiment we call life. Experiment, process. Experiment kind of infers that there's somebody creating or controlling it. You're the only one. So it's a process. Do you observe the process and therefore understand it, or do you just fall victim to it and wait for it to happen to you? I don't like that second one. That second one bothers me. It creates anxiety, stress. Oh, I think I hit on something there. Did I hit on it? Yeah. Chant, practice. You'll see that the events in your life won't knock the wind out of you, not nearly as badly as they used to. And they will lessen and lessen until you will feel more involved, really, with the whole process. Like I've said many times, life doesn't happen to us, which is how we feel when we keep hitting branches without knowing they're coming. It happens for us, so we can see the forest, so we can be in the flow of life, participate, make choices, embrace it, instead of always living in fear. We live in a time today where that very basic fear component is used constantly to manipulate us. If you but notice that somebody is manipulating you by inculcating fears into your thinking, back off and take a look at the bigger picture. What is going on here? Because fear is just ignorance. It's not knowing. And who would manipulate you by that tool is somebody who's keeping you firmly entrenched in reactionary thinking. You're not thinking. You're just waiting for the next thing to hit you. That's not a way to live this life. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for listening. This is a short one today, but I thought it was important sometimes to just hit these are little grounding points in our process of enlightenment, right? Let's ask the stupid question. What the heck am I doing this for? Well, is it worth it? I certainly think so. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you again. Thank you for your support. Patrons on patreon.com/TLK. Those of you downloading the podcast at the Buddhahood podcast. Those of you downloading, I hope that you're downloading all the reams of free papers written on the threefoldlotus.com/home/home.htm. All of that core study material is free, right? Those of you who are buying books from lulu.com/spotlight/quote, that's tremendous help. Pays the internet bills and so on and so forth. Mandala. If you don't have a Nichiren inscribed mandala at this point, that's who we're emulating. That's who our teacher, mentor, example is. Right? Anyway, thank you again, and I will see you in the next one. We'll continue. We'll read some more of Nichiren's incredible writings. And in the meantime, keep your practice strong. Take care of your health. Be kind to yourself. And I'll see you again. Bye for now.